The Times of India, 29th of November 2023, is India becoming a rival to China as a manufacturing hub? By moving its production to a combative China, the world created a Frankenstein monster, and it is currently preparing to leave China. Recently, China has experienced recurrent outbreaks of respiratory illnesses brought on by close human-animal contact, according to a think tank Global Trade Research Initiative, GTRI, report. These outbreaks include COVID-19 in 2019, H7N9 bird flu in 2013, H5N6 bird flu in 2014, and H10N3 bird flu in 2021. Businesses are reportedly considering alternatives like reshoring, the practice of moving an overseas business operation back to the country from which it was initially relocated, or diversifying supply sources to lower the risks as a result of these outbreaks, particularly COVID-19, which have prompted a reevaluation of global supply chains and reliance on China for manufacturing. The report recalls how the world suffered when supply lines for medicine were disrupted during the COVID pandemic, stating that since mid-October 2023, there has been an increase in respiratory illnesses among children in northern China, linked to the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions and the onset of the cold season. According to the report, India is in an excellent position to profit from this trend by strengthening its infrastructure in the healthcare sector and improving its supply chain capabilities. In light of the WHO's and China's criticism of their handling of COVID-19, the report recommends that India set up its independent monitoring centers to better plan for and respond to any future health emergencies. Is India a potential substitute manufacturing center for China? The report claims that in addition to washing machines, solar PV cells, which are parts of solar panels that convert solar energy into electricity, and EV batteries, an electric vehicle battery is a rechargeable battery used to power the electric motors of a battery electric vehicle or hybrid electric vehicle. China supplies more than 90% of laptops and produces the majority of components in-house. The report notes that the globe would suffer if supply chains were interrupted and applaud India's efforts to produce computers and mobile phones domestically for global distribution. According to the report, India can benefit from the trend of diversification by strengthening its supply chain. Furthermore, the government can provide additional incentives for manufacturing in industries where India has a competitive edge or can expand fast. According to the paper, India can reassure international stakeholders about its resilience in global crises by developing a robust crisis management framework, including pandemic preparedness. India's place. During his 2022 World Economic Forum speech, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India will implement the Make in India, Make for the World policy. According to sources, this initiative reflected India's goal of positioning itself as a global hub for manufacturing and exports. It should be recalled that in November 2022, Mark Mobius, the founder of Mobius Capital Partners, is said to have remarked that there was an increasing trend of manufacturing moving from China to India. According to a CNBC report, the U.S. aircraft giant Boeing plans to start production in India. As Western businesses look to lessen their reliance on China, the de facto global factory, Boeing's $34 billion deal with Air India for aircraft supply will be seen as a test for businesses and the South Asian economic powerhouse, India. India is trying to draw foreign firms to establish itself as a significant manufacturing base. According to reports, Dave Schulte, the managing regional director of marketing for commercial aircraft in Boeing's Asia-Pacific and India region, wrote in an email, "India has a lot to offer, and our progress toward an Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, is demonstrated by our growth and the rise in supplier partnerships." According to a report in Forbes, Apple has been trying to diversify its production sources beyond China. It began producing earlier phone models in 2017 and is building its flagship iPhone 14 models in India. According to Forbes, the percentage of domestically built iPhones in India increased from less than 40% in 2020 to over 70% in 2022. India is steadily preparing to reach the crucial stages of the electronics manufacturing value chain, even though it will be tough for Apple to transfer its whole value chain from China to India. Conclusion: India has made a solid effort to position itself as an Asian substitute for Chinese manufacturing. She started the Make in India campaign in 2014 to promote India as a global manufacturing hub and inspire multinational corporations to locate their production there. The Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign was introduced in 2020, which is more recent. One of India's government's policy goals is to become a global manufacturing hub. Thus, it is evident that India hopes to gain from bringing in significant supply chain segments in industries where global changes have caused a shift away from China, such as semiconductors and smartphones. According to reports, India has also been aggressively pursuing the +1 strategy with this policy. In this context, it is claimed that the only markets in India that are similar to those in China are its domestic labor force and market. The Indian government is trying to make it simpler for companies to establish their manufacturing facilities in India because it is considered a natural ally of the West. To capitalize on the favorable circumstances and opportunities presented by the current state of affairs, India needs to address the primary concerns faced by domestic and foreign manufacturers to become a Chinese alternative hub for manufacturing.